What is going on, guys? Pass the prop back, NBA edition. I'm going to sprinkle college basketball play in there. Just been a little bit behind this morning. If you watch YouTube play today, you guys know I'm a little bit behind this morning. It's been more stressful than it needs to be, but hey, always like being in front of the camera talking NBA props with my guy, Stu. What you doing, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good. Another good day of betting on basketball here. I know you got some real world stuff pushing you around. Sorry to anyone that we pushed you 30 minutes back from our regular programming, but hey, we're still here, baby, 3 times a week, no matter what's going on around us, coming to give you guys the winners. So we got a good NBA slate today. Obviously, it's just kind of a normal Wednesday. No Thursday night football anymore, which means this Wednesday time slot is pretty much going to whatever we want it to go to. So, I mean, at this time, I think it's NBA, and I think we both got some good plays today. I know you have a college basketball one in there, and if you're not familiar, if you're just a past the prop viewer, this man's been destroying college basketball right now. I would highly recommend that is what you keep an eye out for as well. I know as a college basketball hater in the past myself, I can sympathize with you, okay? You don't have to watch the games. You don't have to enjoy the games. And even if you bet $50, this is honestly what I used to do. If you bet 50, just if you want to tailor college basketball and just cut it in half, put 25 on it. That way the stake doesn't feel as bad to you. And then slowly he's going to earn your trust, and then you're putting up the real money on it. That's what happened with me. I've got to validate everybody in my life. We've been doing this show for 3 freaking years, and you still got to be careful with where you spend your money. And I think we got some good stuff today.
Yeah, no, it's been good. It's been a good start to the year. Conference plays are around the corner here, so excited to get after it again. If you guys could hit that like button, we got about 15 of you guys in here in the first couple minutes. We appreciate you jumping in. Yeah, it's my bad on the time popping in here a little bit, but we don't have a Thursday night football game, so we got NBA. We got a full NBA. We can recap our last one. I'm disgusted by myself on those. I really don't know what the fuck Tampa was doing there for me. I thought he had this easy. I ended up with 45. Lamar had 35. He got pulled. He got pulled in the fourth. They're just beating that ass too bad. Thank God that you had the 1.5 unit. I laid a hammer on it. Thank you for that. My bookie's not thanking you very much. But 1.5 Godwin on the last drive, 40-yard touchdown. So luckily with the 2.5 by you, we still go green in that day. 53, 42, 14 units. It's been a good run there so far. Obviously, one more week left.
Yeah. Oh God, it's good to celebrate that Godwin one. Like I said, you get so many bad beats over the years that having that, play out the way it did, I was shocked. I was sitting there. I already had the red X in my notes app. It was already there. The reverse jinx was in, and getting that last second catch was definitely nice. And yeah, like you said, we took advantage of FanDuel slacking, obviously, on Dak. He ended up cashing any number, even if you got 285, 286, whatever, but it was still fun, good to cancel on. You had us in the best position too, 2 for 2 on the first day. And then the second day, 2 kind of easy spots fall through. So what can you do? Great spots. Like you said, still ended up positive and keeps us, ready to fight another day today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're back. I'm hoping through playoffs we can get to that 20 unit mark. That'd be, I think, our best year to date on these. And just with being tracked all the time on these, we want to make sure that we give you the best opportunity to make money with us here. So, Stu, got a huge slate today, my guy. We got a massive slate. Anything you want to talk about first before we get it going here?
Yeah, I don't know. I think basketball's been a lot of fun watching recently. I've been betting less basketball and watching more basketball personally, and we're at a great spot in the league right now, to be completely honest. We haven't even talked about. You have any thoughts on the Knicks Raptors trade? I think all of gambling Twitter this morning is bet OG points, so it's clear that it's already coming to fruition a little bit. But I'm curious what you think about that. I'm very excited to see trades already.
Yeah, no, I have a bet in one of those 2 teams today, so we'll be talking about that a little bit here. But I think it was good. Quickly wasn't going to re-sign. You should, dude. I think he could be pushing 30 minutes, man. Like, he's going to push 30 minutes. He got foul trouble first game, so I think that's important to talk about, that he did get in that foul trouble, because this man could run a lot of minutes out there. So he wasn't going to resign. They're playing him 22 to 24 minutes. Dude was dropping 20 a game in those minutes. Release the guy, right? Let him go. And OG's going to most likely re-sign. I saw that like his agents like knows the guy for the Knicks or is like with the owner or something. So should get a re-sign pretty easy. And he plays minutes like Tibbs wants, man. He's gonna play 40 minutes if you want him to.
He's got the Nick Nurse training in his blood. He's ready for that 40 minutes a game. And I know that's why so many people were actually betting on him today, even beyond, the matchup or whatever. Just if you look at his season averages, they're based on 32 minutes per game. And now everyone is expecting him to play 37, 38 minutes a game. So obviously that's interesting to just watch. I mean, I like the trade. I like to see people get mixed up, new teams. RJ Barrett will be a very interesting guy to follow. It feels like he's the one guy nobody can get a read on. Half of NBA Twitter said he was a negative asset in the trade. The other half, he's got potential. We'll see where he goes. I'm very curious to see what happens there. But yeah, Quickly was obviously the big deal of that, and seeing him in a new spot, hopefully getting to maybe put up 15, 20 shots a game, that's going to be fun. And I'm really excited to see what he can do. So we'll get to see him in action today, but definitely some fun stuff going in the NBA.
Yeah, no, and I want to watch them a little bit before I'm going to bet these guys in the new environment. I know a lot of people bet on Quickly, and he killed a lot of people, but I don't mind going back to him. Like I said, after a foul trouble, he was also, not the greatest matchup in the world there either. So just, throwing it back a little bit. Don't just try throwing hammers just because you're guessing, right? You're guessing. You're pretty much flipping a coin. Is he going to do this? Is he not, right? So just a heads up on that. That's why I'm a little more cautious on these newer – these trades and giving me a little bit better lines,
100%. Yeah, you always want to see the live reps, if anything. But hey, speculation is fun. But I mean, we'll get into that game a little bit more because we both have stuff to say about it. But I'm just rooting for more trades, baby. Let's keep mixing it up. Let's keep sending people in new spaces. Makes money for the bettors, and it makes a better product overall. So let's keep these trades rolling.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Stu, huge slate today. What's getting you excited here? We got a full, I think it's 14. Is it 14 or 12?
I think it's
I
12.
Didn't count very well.
12.
I think it's 12. One of the two.
Yeah.
I just saw it on DK this morning. Obviously, I'll have a DFS lineup ready to roll here. These are the fun slates, man. You got a full slate of action. Can't ask for much more than 12. What's the game catching your eye here?
Yeah, I mean, it's been since the first second I saw. I'm pumped for this Thunder Hawks game to start it out. I know we got some good late night hammers as well, some good action across the slate. But for me, I mean, the Thunder are the most fun team. I see Flan is actually kind of getting to it as Stu picked a new favorite team. Listen, I'm a Wizards fan officially, but if you look at the NBA League Pass data, you might think I'm a Thunder fan now. I mean, this team, it's the youngest team in basketball. They're extremely fun. They have multiple rising stars, and they play at an extremely high pace, right? A solid pace. But in this matchup tonight against the Hawks, a team that does play at that extremely high pace that also has a bunch of solid young players. I mean, Jalen Johnson, a guy I saw his rebounds was 9.5 today. Oh my God. I remember when I bet it at 4.5 just when he was ascending into the lineup. I know he's a great rebounder and a great spot today, but seeing a number like that was kind of crazy to me. But I'm super excited. I think it's going to be a great matchup, high pace. I know it's a back-to-back for the Thunder, but hey, they just killed it yesterday. I believe they've won now 6 or 7 straight. They got that momentum going. It's a young team. I think it's going to be a really good game, so I'm super pumped for that one.
Yeah, a little different, right? From playing the Celtics, now you get to play Atlanta. Big difference, obviously, in pace and in defensive intensity. I'll use that as the word because obviously the Hawks are not the scariest team to go up against. You're not playing a Derek White, a Jaylen Brown, guys that actually play defense, and they put up 100 and what on them. So, it's like we're getting that already. Should be a fun one tonight. The back-to-back does kind of scare me a little bit, especially with Hawks at home, off a back-to-back, and it's just straight pick 'em. So,
yeah,
what would they be normal? So I think it's a good line, giving you a pick 'em, just because, I mean, you put them neutral site, same amount of rest. Obviously, I'd give the Thunder probably 4 to 6. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I think that, but when I see a weird line, and I'm not going to bet it, right? I'm just a spectator here. That makes it even more fun to see. It's like, what are they seeing? Why are the Hawks a pick 'em right here? And to me, that tells me that I think the Hawks are going to come out and play tonight. But I agree with you. If you evened up the rest and you look at it, it's like a 6 or even 6.5 point spread right there. So I like this Hawks team. I think they might be a little bit underrated. They've got a lot of good rotational pieces. Not many teams can really say that. It's just about how can the top end talent perform at the end of the day. And it'll be an interesting, question that they have to answer today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm gonna be a homer just because I obviously like this matchup with the Pacers. There's not much to say. I bet on Giannis triple-double a couple weeks back, and now he's doing it regularly in these types of matchups. He's getting a ton of minutes. I like that it's not a back-to-back because they're usually pretty cautious with Giannis. Dame shot like shit. So there's a lot of spots here that I think I want to go to. 260 total almost. It's in Indiana. Just I think this one's going to be more fireworks. Last game was a lot more intense, right? They wanted to play defense, not well, but they actually tried. So I think it's going to be fun. Obviously, everybody's betting Halliburton. Nothing against that. The dude's been crazy. So I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be a fun game, little rivalry that we're talking about here. I don't know how good I think the Pacers are yet when it comes down to, playing physical ball in the playoffs, but they're fun in the regular season and good for props.
100%. To me, that one's almost just like it's been so fun in their games so far this year that we're destined for a dud pretty soon. There's got to be 131-97 game in our future. Not to say that should dissuade you from betting any props, but obviously, as we know, the more and more we see these matchups, to me, it feels like the more likely you are to see these crazy outcomes out of nowhere. So I agree. I think it'll be high paced. It'll be fun. I'm just hoping it stays close for the sake of everyone's props. Because I know if there's one thing I know about Twitter, unders are maybe becoming a little bit more popular, but I don't think anyone's betting any unders in that game. So obviously a blowout is a sportsbook win for that one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And DFS. I completely faded that game last time, which did well. I ended up cashing pretty well. Had a couple other guys come off, so it was nice. We got 28 live viewers, only 7 likes. Hit that like button. Let's get it going, guys. Let's get this going. Hopefully getting up to that 2025 here shortly with all you guys in here. Stu, you want to get it rolling here, my friend? We should got some good spots here.
I do. I'm ready to go.
All right.
Putting out another hype tweet out there to get the people ready as well, because I got some bangers today. Starting out on the defensive side of the ball right here, we're going Chet Holmgren, 2 blocks, Dante DiVincenzo to record 1 steal, -125. We're going back to the bread and butter. We're going back to the defensive side of the ball right here. Originally, I was just going to go Chet over 2.5 blocks straight up as my play for this game. I like that. It's +100 over on BetMGM. I'm going to be running up that ladder. I'm going to 3 blocks, and I'm going to 4 blocks as well now that FanDuel offers that as well. He's 3rd in the league in 4 blocks games so far this year as a rookie, just behind another rookie in Victor Wembanyama right there. He's been insanely consistent. He's averaging 2.7 blocks per game in his rookie year, weighing 132 pounds, right? This is the baseline Chet. This is the beginning of the story arc right here. The guy's still a twig, and he's putting up elite defensive numbers so far. Don't let the look confuse you, right? He has been extremely involved on both sides of the ball. That's why he's now the favorite to win Rookie of the Year over the generational alien prospect in Wembanyama, who he's competing with right there. And not to take anything away from either of them, I just think, once again, it shows you the state of basketball right now. We got some young ballers. But like I said, 2.7 blocks per game. That's up to 3.5 in the month of December. So we're trending absolutely in the right direction. He's been playing very well recently. When you look at Atlanta allows the 6th most blocks per game on the year. It makes a lot of sense. Look at Clint Capella's shot chart, right? This is a team that obviously does have good outside shooting, but they really love the pick and roll. Trey's one of the best pick and roll passers in the league, and Clint Capella's shot appetite is all right at the rim. He is standing under the rim, getting shots up, right? And look what happened last time. He actually only played 21 minutes when they played earlier in the year, because the Thunder, guess what they can do? They can drive the big men off the floor, right? So now I like Chet against Capella in the minutes they're against each other, simply because Capella is going to be shooting in the paint. But now take Capella out, we're going faster paced, we're going small ball, we're going to have drives at the rim all game, a lot of transition opportunities. And that's where I really feel like the ladder potential comes in. I mean, if you get 38 minutes of Capella, it's going to be a grind. I think we get there. I think we get 3 to 4 blocks in that one. But if you, like we did last time earlier in the year, only get 20 minutes of Capella, then I think we're going to have tons of transition opportunities, one-on-one isolated matchups against guards, because Trey's an amazing pick and roll passer. They're great at operating that, whether it's a Konkwu out there, who, by the way, I mean, has the same shot chart as Capella. I mean, it's not like he's a stretch big or anything like that as well. So for me, there's just so many opportunities for Chet tonight. I like 2.5 blocks. Like I said, I was surprised that was plus money. I thought I might have to pay a little tax there, but blocks naturally can be a little inconsistent. So I see why that is. I like taking it down to 2 for the safety right here. Obviously, if you've bet defense, you know how insane the difference just between a block and another block is. So I like the safety right here. And obviously with that, I'm adding Donte DiVincenzo to get 1 steal. I just talked about this game earlier. It's very interesting. I see everyone on OG. I like OG in this game as well. But every reason that they like OG can be very applicable to Donte DiVincenzo, the guy who's actually been here all year, right? When you look at the matchup, right? A guy like Jalen Brunson, this is probably Jalen Brunson's toughest match of the year, I would argue, in terms of a team that has the right kind of players to guard him, the right rotation, not just Caruso, but you go to the bench, right? I think this is a team that is very well suited to guard him, right? And then you look over at Julius Randle, a guy who I got very close to betting on the show. I think Julius Randle has another great game. I love him shooting. He still has a tougher matchup in the paint against Patrick Williams in general. I just think everyone is going to OG because it's very simple. This is one of the best spot-up matchups in the league. We love playing spot-up guys in this opportunity. And guess what? From the right corner, who's the best spot-up shooter in the league so far this year by three-point percentage? It's OG Anunoby. Who's the best three-point shooter on the left corner so far this year by three-point percentage? It's Donte DiVincenzo, right? So everyone is looking at the stats and they're immediately going to OG. And I think that's fair. I think OG has a good game. But to me, I just wanted to give a little love in general, not just for this prop. But I think Donte has a great game. I love the threes ladder. I already played that. But I think the steals is actually where the best value is. Outside of the threes, the points, all the other fun stuff. For me, I love when you get Donte DiVincenzo playing 25 minutes a game. I mean, last year I played his steal every single day for 14 days, and I lost once during that span. When you get this guy in any semblance of a starting opportunity, I mean, he's like the ultimate Villanova, him and Josh Hart grinding, going out there. It's fun to watch, and he's so productive on the defensive side of the ball, right? This is a guy with a 90% hit rate playing 25 minutes per game so far this year on 1 steal. Like I said, I think he gets 2 steal. I think we get the opportunity right here. I like both of these guys' separate numbers, but Donte DiVincenzo, 25 minutes, 3 straight games, right? He's 25 minutes with OG, and he's got his role secured. If you've looked at this Knicks bench, it's not super deep. We got Josh Hart. I love him. We got Precious Achiuwa in town now. It's not a very deep bench. So for me, Donte's locked into at least 25, 26 minutes at a minimum. And for that reason, I'm going to always love his steal, especially at like minus 300. So lock this in, minus 125. ESPN bet is where I got this one for the best odds. Love this combination.
Yeah, just the blatant disrespect to Jalen Brunson, bro. Only giving Josh Hart, Donte DiVincenzo love. Are you going to give Jalen Brunson his love, bro?
Well, I love Jalen Brunson, but I said this is his toughest matchup, in my opinion, of maybe even the year. A team that can guard him better than most teams can. So I love Brunson, but I'm giving the shine to some other guys today, some bench players. But that's fair. I should have included him there.
You're good, bro. You're good. Let's. I'm going to be talking about that same type of trade action here. I'm going to go with Scottie Barnes today. I'm going to go points, rebounds, 29.5 at minus 110. Really like the spot for rebounding. His numbers really didn't switch too much. He had 12 opportunities, rebounding chances in their last game. That's with everybody else in there. My biggest thing, and this is something that, again, if you're just looking at box scores and wanting to look at that, I get it. But no one in their right mind is going to say that Jakob Poeltl is going to play 38 minutes a night. I'm telling you that right now. I don't think Poeltl even comes close to that amount of minutes this game. I really don't. Because I think they're going to run him off the court. I really do. Because you look at him, last game he played 37 minutes. Jared Allen on the other side, they're doing the same thing. He played 34 minutes. He played every minute that he was in there, right? Go to the game before. Jalen Duren, 34 minutes, right? Jakob Poeltl, 35, right? So he's going in there with these centers. in matching up. I think we could honestly probably see Xavier Tillman or Bismack Biyombo out there, but you're going to tell me that they're going to play 30 minutes? No chance. I think we see a lot of Jaren Jackson at the 5 tonight, and if we do, no chance Jakob Poeltl's on the court for that. Because if he's trying to guard Jaren Jackson, that boy's going to be put in a body bag. I'm telling you right, they should be playing him at the 5. You've obviously got Ja healthy. Desmond Bane on the outside as well, but I just do not see how Jakob Poeltl is going to play that full amount of allotment of minutes that we've been seeing in these matchups where Duren is doing one thing, under the hoop, blocking shots. Same thing with Jared Allen. Now we look at this one. I think we see Poeltl in that mid-20s, right? That's what I expect to see Biyombo playing as a starter, right? I think Jaren Jackson gets a ton of run at the 5. We saw him last game, even with 37 minutes from Jakob Poeltl, 12 rebounding chances. This dude is good. He's going to find his way in there. I don't like the matchup for Pascal Siakam, right? If you want to think that he's going to be guarded by Triple J's, could definitely see it. But I just like having Scottie Barnes out there. He will play 36 to 38 minutes in every one of these games, obviously, outside of a blowout. But this is a close spread. And I'm expecting this one to stay close throughout. 227 total, not the best. But I do think that we get to see a lot of usage from Scottie Barnes in this game and gets us to this number.
Yeah, I mean, it was Scottie's team earlier in the year. Now it's definitely Scottie's team. I mean, even from an organizational standpoint of the future, a guy like Siakam, the whole world is kind of trying to figure out, is he gone at the deadline? Is he ever going to resign? What's the deal? I mean, the ball is in Scottie's court now. And man, as someone that I hate to say it, I was on the wrong side of this debate. At the beginning of the year, last year, I was maybe not as much a believer in the development, especially in the scoring department. But what he's done, I mean, at all 3 levels, but especially on the outside, ensuring that up from going from, one of the uglier scorers in the league to someone that can now maintain this consistent volume has been fun to watch. So big props to him. I agree. Obviously, the usage is only going to get better now. Obviously, take OG out of that lineup right there. We're going to have some good opportunities in this one. And like you said, I think the rebounding chances are going to be through the roof.
Yeah, and I mean, who's going to see Siakam go 13 for 20 from the field, right? Like last game, right? 36 points. Come on now. I don't expect that to happen again. And usually it's Barnes taking over those games late, where Pascal Siakam kind of got that in that last game there.
He got hot from 3. I mean, how often does Pascal Siakam get hot from 3? Like, how many times as a basketball fan can you remember that in your head or even see in a highlight? It's not very often. So, and he's going to get the tougher defensive matchup as well. I mean, JJJ is going to be on his ass for most of that game, which just is going to open up even more opportunities for Scottie.
Love it, love it, love it. All right, Stu. Let's take a look. I don't think we have anything else in the chat here. Giannis triple-double down to 425. Yeah, it's disgusting. I was betting them at 1,500 earlier this year. But books have to catch on sometime. And obviously, same matchup, just got it in the last one. Expect him to go off again tonight. All right, Stu, we got a big boy one coming from you here. I don't know if you said 1.5. Is this a 1.5 or is this
1.5, baby?
Right.
1.5. I mean, I've been, it's kind of hard to, I'll explain it in a second, but I'm going over to the first quarter, a market that I love. We're going Donovan Mitchell, 6 first quarter points, and the Cleveland Cavaliers money line, -140 over on DraftKings and MGM. And yeah, I mean, I said privately, this is my whale max lock of the year. I'm already apparently 1-0 on those after Blake Corum scored a touchdown. So shout out to my whale lock of the year. Unfortunately, it's not going to be -190 anymore. It's going to be like -300 in the championship game. So I'll have to work on that. But in the meantime, we got to play that. I genuinely believe this shouldn't be offered. And for me, it's like bankroll management is obviously very important, but I was very, very aggressive in betting this personally. One, because the first quarter market is one that I'm very comfortable with. I bet into this market frequently over the years. And 2, you realize the opportunities aren't as fruitful as you believe. So I want to capitalize on my opportunities. And I think this is a bad line. And to be honest, once some of you guys probably start betting it, I don't think this is actually even a line that's going to exist throughout the rest of the day. I started out going to my show play was going to be over 7.5 first quarter points. And I really like that. But every point matters so much in the first quarter. And to have 6 as a benchmark available is amazing. This is a guy that's taking more than 6 shots per game in the first quarter. And man, I mean, this is the kind of thing that nobody would really know if you haven't watched the Wizards. I've watched this man fucking destroy my team, game after game. So before, I already locked the bet in. I already knew I loved the play. After all of that, I went to go check at his past game logs against the Wizards. Not that these are going to tell you anything specific, but just so you would know where this is coming from. Donovan Mitchell in the first quarter against the Wizards, 10 points, 9 points, 7 points, 13 points, 12 points, 7 points, 9 points. That's taking us back to 2020. He has consistently demolished not only this alt line, but his regular number, only going under 7.5 once. This is a guy that's consistently playing 9 to 11 minutes in every game. He's averaging 7 first quarter points per game against any team in the league, right? Just in general so far this year. But man, when he gets the Wizards, he destroys them. And when you look at this Wizards team, man, who is it? Who's going to guard him? I mean, genuinely, who is going to guard him? I love my guy, Deni Advia. I love our rookie, Bilal Coulibaly. A lot of potential in that young defensive core. But when you're talking about going out and guarding an elite player, it's just not going to work. And unfortunately, I've seen Washington still continue to guard these guys in single coverage, game after game, throwing my guy, Deni, out there to the Wolves. And I love Deni, but this is not a good matchup for him. Like I said, I really can't believe that 6 is an option here. I expected it to start at 7. Normally they are not very giving in alt lines. This is a guy, he's going to take 3 threes in the first quarter, right? We knocked down 2 of those. Obviously that's a cash right there, but any 3 to me in first quarter betting is nothing. I want to completely cross that off the board. I want to only focus on the regular volume just from the 2-point line. And seeing that he's taking 6 twos per game outside of any 3s is giving me hope to cash this number right here. So I think when you put everything together, I mean, obviously I'm very confident Cleveland with Donovan Mitchell takes care of business against Washington. You look at his full game line, it's 30.5, right? I think that's telling you everything you need to know right here. I just don't think the first quarter market is being priced appropriately here, and I think we take advantage.
I love it. I know it's going to be moving a lot. Not many people betting on that first quarter too much. So Terrence already talking about get it down to 145 on DK. Get it in now.
Yeah, I mean, 5 points right there. And I see Kyle says 7.5 on FanDuel. FanDuel doesn't have alt lines, unfortunately. I don't know if I said FanDuel by accident instead of DraftKings. DraftKings and BetMGM are the only spots that have alternate first quarter lines, which is what we're doing right here. We're playing the alt line.
Awesome. Well, unfortunately, we go for a hammer here on you. And I'm going to switch it up a little bit. I'm going college basketball. Like I said, work kind of took over my last hour before the show. So kind of put me in a weird spot where I don't want to force anything crazy. But I got a play that I really do like tonight. And you guys already know it. If you've been following for a while, you me knowing I'm on this one. I have 79.5 right now on Canby Books, which is where I'm seeing most of this, where I've been betting a lot of these. So if you can get it on there, it's like minus 120 at 79.5. But I love this game over. I like all of it, but I trust Eastern Washington more than I do trust the South Dakota side. South Dakota is an absolute wreck. This team sucks. I know they've got wins, but that does not mean anything to me. Remember, we're betting on South Dakota, not South Dakota State, because they're very, very different. South Dakota State, they're nice. South Dakota is ass. So just let's put this in perspective so far. South Dakota ranks 330 in adjusted defense. There is 362 teams. So that is horrendous. They're playing at a very fast pace, top 100. But my biggest thing, their strength of schedule non-conference, 315th in the country. The opponent's offenses that they're facing are ranked 329 as a whole. So if you're this shitty against bad teams, what are you going to do here with this Eastern Washington team that just absolutely snipes, right? South Dakota is going to have a tough time everywhere we go here. We got to look at Eastern Washington. They're going to run about 5 different dudes scoring 6 to 7 points a game. They can shoot the ball well. Ethan Price taking a big step forward this year. Big dude, shoots threes. And Eastern Washington always shoots free throws well. Their top 2 scorers, Coward and Price, 82 and 88% from the line. That is what I want, especially when I'm betting a team that's a little bit of a favorite here. I want guys to be able to make their free throws. And when we look at these, again, Eastern Washington top 50 in three-point shooting. South Dakota can't guard the three-point ball. But some of these numbers are pretty absurd, and I think that Eastern Washington's going to need to have Ethan Price rebound the ball very well tonight, because Eastern Washington ranks bottom 50 in offensive rebounding. South Dakota can't rebound. So if they can put Ethan Price down low, get some offensive boards here, they're just not big enough. They're trying to win by running you out of the gym. And it's going to be tough to do that to Eastern Washington. They want to play fast. They have a bunch of snipers, and they can hit free throws. That's what I want. A team that follows a lot in South Dakota should see a lot of opportunity at the line. And Eastern Washington just crushed these numbers against significantly better teams, right? Just played against Sacramento State, 87, Portland State, 91. I was actually really impressed. They only lost by 7 to Washington in an in-state battle. This is a good roster. They were, again, one of the best non-conference schedules to start the year. They played really hard teams. USC, Washington State, Cincinnati, Ole Miss, Utah. Very good Power 5 schools. And then they get to take a huge step down into the Big Sky while all these other teams are trying to blow up their record, make it look good. Now you're going to go play a team that's already played some brutes, played these teams that do get out on you on the three-point line. I don't care that this is in South Dakota. If it was in Eastern Washington, this line would be 84.5 because they shoot like 48% from 3 at home. I'm going to be all over this one. I love Eastern Washington. I'm going to go with my Eagles again here. My God, dude, I love this team. And I think this South Dakota team matches up exactly how I want them to. Play fast, terrible defense, but they're going to try and out run and gun you. Sign me up. I'll take the team with better athletes, better shooters, and better overall free throws.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, I like what you said about the strength of schedule part in the beginning, too. Obviously, if you're getting torched by terrible teams, then, I mean, hey, I don't know much about this Eastern Washington team other than they keep cashing my team total bet so far this year. So, obviously, from everything you've described, you got a good offense against a bad defense. And, these boys have been good to me so far. The only problem is you got to scroll to, like, the bottom of your sports book to find them, you know? Be using that Control F key, okay? Because sports books, they like to hide some of these lines, you know, down near the bottom. But I like this spot a lot. You know, I've been riding with all these weird teams. My only request is, like, could you pick a team on my side of the world so I can go watch them live? Like, I would love, like, if you started randomly betting, like, George Washington all the time or Mason or one of these Maryland schools. Get on, like, the Townsend bandwagon or something. Because all these teams, I don't watch the games. I just see the game log, and I'm like, this must have been an awesome game. Like, it seems like these teams just chuck threes all game. So just all I'm saying, pick one in the DMV so I can go watch these guys.
Yeah, there's not many teams out there I like. I don't mind St. Joe's tonight. They're not a bad team. I don't mind them. That'd be like the only thing I like over there. My boys Furman in line. I don't think I have a bet on them yet, which is kind of weird, but they'll probably find my way to my card there as well. So I really like Eastern Washington. Again, just kind of finding these teams that do it well. I've gotten a lot of messages about it. I said this on my YouTube play of the day this morning. And yes, I do play a lot of the same teams, a lot. Because I know what they're going to give me. I know what they're trying to do. I know what they're good at, right? And if you have that, that's why we call them wagons. Just hitch on and let them roll, because they're going to do the exact same thing every single game. They know what they're good at, and they do it and do it well. So sign me up for some Eagles, baby. Hopefully we can get another winner on here.
100%. I didn't know the Eagles, but I know that now. That's a very safe name. I feel like when you're Eastern Washington, you should pick a more creative logo, like the Furman Paladins. Like when you're a random team, you should pick a random logo. But we'll work on that later. You know, I'll send some letters, get some stuff moving around.
Rockets, baby. That's not a bad one either. I'm a fan club, man. I need a Toledo Rockets jerseys. Big shout out though. If you've been watching bigger teams, right? If you've been watching those big time games, right? Those games that are actually, you know, good teams, you know, not these low end guys. You've been seeing one of my boys out there playing big time minutes for Baylor, right? Ray J. Dennis, absolute stud. You got transferred over to Baylor. putting on an absolute clinic this year. The dude's been a wagon himself. He averaged 19 and a half a game last year. He's a senior over at Baylor this year. He's averaging 15, shooting 36% from three, doing a really good job as a starting point guard. So love to see those guys take that huge step forward. Ryan Rollins, he's a Toledo guy. Obviously, he's popping out by you, playing out by you. So shout out Toledo. They're playing out by Washington now. So I'm sure a lot of Toledo fans are Washington fans.
Hey, man, I hope so. G League, though. But, got to do what you got to do. But, hey, we got some good plays today, man. I mean, I know this is a little different for our usual audience here at the end with the college basketball, but I really like the combination we got. I got a good feeling about tonight.
Yes, sir. Let's recap and get it rolling here, Stu.
Yep, starting out, like I said, love both these guys. Chet blocks ladder, DiVincenzo threes, steals ladder. Give me all these guys. But for the show right now, favorite combination, Chet 2 blocks, DiVincenzo 1 steal, -125 over on ESPN.
Love it.
Then this is my biggest play the NBA season so far. I'm not on Twitter. We're not putting the emojis. Those are jokes. We're not doing whale, lock, or anything like that. Just telling you how it is. My biggest play of the year. I love Mitchell. I don't think this should be an available line. I saw someone ask if I like Cavs -10. I don't hate it. It's just asking that team to cover by margin is tough when they don't score like that. Even if Mitchell's dropping 40, it's just not a super offensively efficient team right now. So that's why I just stuck with the money line. It's obviously a little juicier, but you gotta do what you gotta do. So love the spot right here, biggest of the NBA season.
Love it. I'm gonna go Scottie Barnes, 29.5 points plus rebounds, -110. Going to my Eagles, team total over 80.5, -110 today. Stu, what do you got? You got a long shot? I don't have a long shot today. They haven't really given me much that I like out right now for the all totals or all props, any of those. Even like triple-double, double-doubles aren't where I want them to be anymore. You got anything for anybody, or are we good with just posting it after the show?
I'm good with posting it after. Like I said, I've Chet blocks and DiVincenzo threes, but those are my guys I already told you about. So we'll find some new guys for you. Won't be a wizard, I promise you. Okay, won't be. I've given you all the Wizards exposure you need for the day. But yeah, we'll get those in on the comments.
Awesome. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing a good line on my boy Scottie Barnes triple-double that I cashed in pretty heavy on a while ago. They're not giving me that good line anymore. It's only, I think it's 2,200. I got a 26 on that one day. So 2,200 on DK though. I might, maybe a little sprinkle for me on that one in a good spot, or 30 points. One of those two I'll probably play.
Sounds good.
All right, Stu. You got anything for the people before we head out? I think we got it out quick. Again, sorry for the delay on my end. But you got anything for the people? We got 40 people still in here live with us. Hopefully we lock in all these bets in.
Yeah, no, first show of the new year, but man, I think we got some really good ones. I feel great about my plays. I don't know, for me, like I just posted new year, same Stu, obviously a lot of different stuff, but man, it feels good being back in the bread and butter, getting those first quarter props in, getting those steals and blocks. One thing I will say, we're doing NFL on Friday. I just wanted to there's a lot of discourse about this. I would just be really careful before, we're going to talk about then, but the incentive props and all that is like the talk of the town right now. I'll just be very, very careful. Like this, like even on the show just 2 years ago, you and me both were like hammering those Gronk props, if you remember them with Brady. Like, and that was a common thing a little bit, like maybe 3 years ago. All so incredible one prop even opens that. As a guy that needs 5 catches to hit his incentive, like OBJ hasn't had five catches all year. You know what I mean? Are they going to put that -155? Like, I think they might, with how much people want to bet it. So I would just be really careful. Like, I see all these lists, all this information. Josh Allen is a big one, +135 all year long to score a touchdown. I believe I saw some spots had a -170 because he needs a touchdown to hit the incentive. Guys, he needs to make a fucking playoff game. Like it's the fucking playoffs, the game of the year. The coach isn't like, how can we get Josh this touchdown here? Like, I think Josh Allen probably gets a touchdown, but due to all of this incentive stuff, I can't bet it. They made the number impossible, right? I just like a Josh Allen touchdown in a high leverage game. I don't want -170 because of some stupid award that has, or record or whatever that has nothing to do with the game. So for me, my warning would just be incredibly careful betting on that kind of information. I would really just try to make bets that you look at the page and you like, and then maybe you double check and then you see what the incentive stuff says, because man, like every book is fucking ready for him. Twitter gave him like a guideline, before any lines were even released. Every notable incentive has been posted on Twitter. So I don't want to make it an argument. I don't think there's any wrong way to do any of this. I would just be really careful when you look at that stuff, because if you've seen it just in glancing on Twitter, now on TikTok, on Instagram, be very confident that the sports books have seen that information as well.
Yeah, my favorite is the Jordan Love ones. Like, he has a couple of them that he needs, and I'm like, bro, they need to fucking win, bro. They need to fucking win. They have to win to get in. And they're playing the Bears at home.
Yep.
They're not going to just check out of runs for him to get this incentive on passing yards, right? He's going to get an incentive to make the playoffs, I'm sure, right? I'm sure that's going to be one as well. You know what I mean? That's what they're trying to do, right?
It's killing us. I love his passing yards this week because the Bears are amazing against the run. So you can't run in the Bears, so you have to pass. But this number is going to be fucking impossible to bet on because, like you said, people that are completely misguided, that aren't looking at it like a playoff game, are thinking he cares about getting like $100,000 bonus or whatever, when this guy's going to be getting paid $60 million a year in 2 years. Come on.
I got you, Stu. We did our recap about 5 minutes ago, guys. We got to get our rants in. You know how it is. We didn't come out on Monday. We had to get at least a 5-minute rant, and you know how I go. I can't go a full day without a rant on here. It's just not the way I am. We got to have one. So, again, guys, we got 18 likes on the show so far. We got 40 of you guys live in here that made it this long. If you made it this long, might as well hit that like button because we're about to head out here. Got our 4 bets. YouTube Play of the Day spot out. I know you're posting some more stuff on Twitter. Make sure you follow us both over there. We'll be back Friday. NFL, hit that like button. We'll be back with you Friday. Hopefully, I'll be a little bit closer to on time this time. So have a good one, guys, and best of luck tonight on this huge NBA